Welcome, welcome, welcome. It has been a bit, but I've been busy, and I've been busy with a cool project that I'm actually now finally starting to share, and it's this house I bought. So yes, I bought a house, and a lot goes into buying a house. So I have been a little bit busy to make videos, a little too busy to make any videos here or post any videos, I should say, because I have plenty of footage that I've recorded, and I just have to get around to actually editing it. So this is going to be the first installment video of a new series that I'm going to be doing for upgrading your house or adding tech to your house. Still not exactly sure what I'm going to call it, but maybe you guys can help me out down in the comments and give me some suggestions. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into what this whole series is going to be about. Now, the first thing we're going to be doing is upgrading all these light switches. I will be replacing most of these with the smart TP-Link Kasa dimmer switch. And there's multiple reasons that I like this switch, but we'll talk about those a little bit later in the video. Enjoy. So one thing that I kind of debated on doing was the smart switch versus the smart bulbs. Now, why would I choose one over the other? And there's really one main reason. The easy reason is cost. There's a lot of bulbs in this house, so getting one switch that can control, for example, 4 bulbs right here is a lot easier for me installing it, but also it can be cheaper as well because smart bulbs can run kind of expensive depending on which one you get. But that's not even the main reason. The main reason is because I have used smart bulbs before, and the biggest annoyance is when somebody doesn't know they're smart bulbs, and so they go to turn the lights off by clicking the switch, and now they've lost all power, and I can't control them via my phone, I can't control them via any kind of voice prompt, they have no power. The nice thing about the switch is the switch will always have power. It's just if it delivers that power to the light source or not. So you can always control this, and I love these switches because you can actually physically click them still. Now, they don't have a toggle where it's not like your typical on-off, but you still get that nice tactile click either way. All right, so we have to take a small little pause break here. As you see from this diagram where we paused on, this was the switch I was currently working on, and it was not done correctly. So big PSA here out to any homeowner. If you do buy a home and you have any suspicion that anything was changed, very likely, go ahead and either, if you're not comfortable, have someone that is, check all your outlets and your switches, because as you just saw there, maybe you haven't realized it yet, but you will soon, because I will tell you, that was wired wrong. That was actually wired to where the housing, the metal outside, this one's plastic, I'm just here to show you, but the metal outside of that picture would have been energized if I had the breaker on, because they had wired a 3-way switch system with a 2-way switch. And you don't have to know the ins and outs of this. Basically, a 2-way switch, pretty simple like this. Wire goes in with power, wire goes out to the light. The switch either disconnects or connects that power. Very simple. Means there's only 2 spots where a live wire should go. A 3-way switch has a third one, and that is called the traveler wire, and it connects this to another switch. So this is a scenario where you'd have 2 switches that controls the same light. That's how this was designed, because this is where the stairwell is. So if you want to walk up the stairs and say it's night, you turn the light on, you walk up, and then there's another switch at the top where you can turn the light off. These switches have an extra spot on them. They bought a 2-way switch like this that only has 2 spots. So what did they do? They had 3 wires. So they wired up the 2 that they needed to wire, and the third wire, which is normally a traveler wire, they put onto the ground screw. Because they used a switch with a metal frame, as you see, they had to ground that metal frame, and instead they provided that metal frame with power. That third wire was not ever meant to go onto the structure. It was meant to be a traveler wire connecting to the other switch, which also has power running through it. So if that power was on and you touched the outside of that switch, you would electrocute yourself. And after repeating this process, we now have some nice smart switches throughout the entire house, including my bedroom, my bathroom, the living room, my office, the stairwell, you name it, we have some nice smart switches. Another super cool thing about these switches is when the light is off and you can't see, they have this small little circular LED to show you where the switch is. And just adding in a few smart plugs here for the lamps to make them smart as well. Thanks for watching the first video, guys. This one was a quick one, more of an intro, but stay tuned for the next house video. It is going to be all about smart locks. I have a smart Ring doorbell. We have the smart lock itself to actually access the house with a passcode and or a fingerprint reader, which I think is really cool. And then we also have some super cool security cameras that not only are solar powered, don't require a subscription, but they also track stuff, and you can actually upgrade them to recognize people as well. So really excited to get into that, and I will see you all in the next one.